You just probably only know 15% of your life or 15% of yourself on where you ultimately want to get to. Now that seems scary to you, but listen, you have a I graduated from college. That is everything that I've ever wanted to do, make my parents proud, get my degree, get my diploma, so that way I could say that I'm certified and I did something that not many people have the opportunity of doing. So I seized the opportunity and I got my degree. Now, at that moment, at graduation, the excitement and the jitters that were overcoming me was so great. I felt like I was on top of the world, but little did I know, I had a mountain that was right ahead of me. I just started off this journey that we just called life. And yet, I had this grand master plan on what was gonna happen in my life and when it was gonna happen and how it was gonna happen. And many of us know, whenever you have plans, certain plans don't turn out the way they are typically planned out to be. And I can only say this because there's been multiple times where I said, all right, man, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go to work at this time. And I oversleep or I wake up and I'm like, yeah, let me get 5 more minutes of rest. And that planned 5 more minutes of rest turns into like 30 minutes and I'm running late. But that's besides the point. I moved to a new location, a new area where I didn't know anyone. I knew probably 1 or 2 friends. And after that, my family members were miles away. I had to start all over. I bring this up because I had at times moments where I was in my apartment, going to work, coming back, and not knowing what to do with myself. I had this idea and this vision that one of these days I would potentially become the President of the United States, potentially have a company underneath my name and become the CEO of something. Those are visions, those are things that are potentially still in play. But those were the heights and those were the levels that I put myself on and where I was thinking at the moment. And things like that didn't ultimately play out the way I wanted them to play out. I was in an environment where I felt as though nothing was going as according to plan. I thought negatively about everything that I was doing, where I was placed, why I don't like it here. I saw all the negatives, but I ultimately didn't realize some of the positive things that were actually happening and things that were actually working in my favor. Now, some of the positive things that were happening was that I was able to live on my own sufficiently and comfortably a little bit, being able to keep up with my bills and my student loan payments and different things. Me being able to go grocery shopping and able to pick out things that I need to actually eat and not having to consistently worry every single week about how much I am spending, in a sense, even though I still had to, but I knew that, okay, I could probably buy this and still be okay for a little bit longer as long as I cut something else out. But I wasn't looking at the fact that I had a job that was salaried, that was steady, that was able to get me to jumpstart my life and jumpstart my career. I just saw things as, man, I'm not in the area that I wanted to be in. My family members are miles away. My friends are in a bigger city. My friends are still doing other things. Some of my friends are going to grad school. Some of my other friends are doing this. Some of my other friends are doing that. Now, with all the negative things that were going on in life, that literally set me up for a recipe for disaster. Things didn't feel as though they were going the right way. I didn't feel as though I was valued. I didn't feel as though I was actually making a difference and making a change in the world. And that's where I came back and I thought to myself, and I really sat down and analyzed my life and started thinking about who I was, what I want to do in life, and where I actually ultimately want to get to in life. Listen, just because your degree and just because that piece of paper that you got from an institution or even your master's degree is telling you that you're certified within the communication field, the finance field, the biology field, doesn't mean that you're tied down ultimately to that path and that trajectory in life. It's just saying that you're more certified in the finances and the biology and the communications of the world than some other people are. But that doesn't say that you're not able to relearn and learn other things in life that is able to help you actually get into what you were actually put on this earth to do. It doesn't mean that your hobbies and some of the things that actually provide you with some fulfillment should go out the window. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to a job and you're actually attempting to stay within the confined field of study that you studied in college, and you're feeling like you're a prisoner, most of the time, your mind is probably gonna tell you that you're crazy and that life has nothing else to look forward to, and you're ultimately gonna see all the negatives in life. Now, I bring this up because there are many recent grads who are in a position that I was in, where I was looking at all the negatives in life. Things that I planned out didn't ultimately plan out to the way I wanted them to plan out. I was seeing things not actually going according to the speeds that I wanted them to go to, and I was lost. I'm here to tell you that it's the beginning, it's the start. The reason why you're lost is because you're figuring things out. Every single time I got lost driving around this new city that I was in, this new environment I was in, was ultimately because of the fact that I was figuring out which way I needed to go in order for me to get to my next destination, in order for me to get to the gym, in order for me to find the next mall or the next shopping center, in order for me to do what I have to do. Now, a year out, I'm a little bit more knowledgeable on what's going on and where I need to go and what I need to get to, but I haven't explored the city 100%. I probably know just 15% of the city. And now I say this because of the fact that you just graduated, or you probably graduated a few years ago, and you just probably only know 15% of your life or 15% of yourself on where you ultimately want to get to. Now that seems scary to you, but listen, you have a whole bunch of life ahead of you. Don't see just because other people in social medias are showing you that people that is the same age of you as you are, maybe in your early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, just because they are in the same age realm that you are, doesn't mean that your life is over and that you can't get to where they got to, or you can't get to your dreams and your aspirations and things that you're hoping for. It seems like nothing is going according to plan, nothing is going well in your life. It seems like everything is falling apart and everything is falling out of place. But the only reason why it feels like it's falling out of place is because you're outgrowing your environment. It's like a turtle. Whenever the turtle gets too big for its shell, it ultimately needs to go find another shell in order for it to grow into it. Listen, the environment that you're in, the situation that you're placed in, this post-graduation feeling that you're getting, where you're feeling as though you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what's going on, is you getting into this new turtle shell and you attempting to grow into it and you attempting to feel comfortable and make it feel like home. It is a scary situation, but it shouldn't scare you to the point where you're not making the proper growth and the proper movements that you need to do in order to make it through life. Your vision and what you are dealing with will come. Well, I should say your vision will come and what you are dealing with will go by. It will pass by. You will still become stronger. You will still live to see another day. It is not the end of the road right now. It's just the beginning. The reason why everything is falling apart right now and things aren't going the way you want them to go is because you got new things coming to you. You have new heights and new levels of visionary things that are about to unleash itself onto you in order for you to go through life. Now, there's only one thing I would ask of you not to do, and that is to not stop moving. Because when you stop moving and you start staying stagnant and staying within that same comfortable environment that you're in, you're ultimately shrinking your potential. Now, this uncomfortable feeling that you're feeling, either you're a year out of school, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, potentially 10 years, or 1 year into a new company, just see it as this. 4 years from now, how much will you accomplish and how much will you have learned? Treat your first year at a new job, treat your first year in life, if you're just graduating from college or high school or going into a new job, treat your first year as your freshman year, where you're lost, but you're ultimately attempting to find out how everything works and where you need to go to get your support. Treat your second year as the year where you start getting involved and things start to actually play out and actually come together. Treat your third year as your mastery year, where you're able to really get everything underneath your belt and help others and bring others along with you and teach them what you have learned within your first 2 years. And treat your fourth year and on as your senior year or super senior year, with you being an expert at what you are doing and what you are learning. Listen, leave a comment below about a time or if you are actually feeling like you are lost, like there is nothing that could take you out this rut, because I would love to reach out to you and help you and talk to you. Listen, this is Ignite. We're only here to do one thing and one thing only, and that's to ignite the flame within you so that way you can ignite the flame within somebody else. I'll see you next week.